Hey, what's up, everybody? We're going to talk about how Andrés Manuel López Obrador, otherwise known as AMLO, the leftist socialist communist presidente de Mexico, just disrespected the United States of America and Potato Head Jose Biden, otherwise known as Joe Biden, because world leaders from pretty much every country have no respeto para Joe Biden. So uh, let's look at what's going on over here. Basically, Mexico is implementing or has implemented a bunch of policies that favors Mexican state-run electricity, utility, and oil companies. And this is no bueno because Mexico has entered an agreement with Estados Unidos and Canada known as the USMCA. So let's get into it. So a few weeks ago, Joe Biden added something like 300,000 new work visas for Mexico and Central American countries. So these work visas allow hundreds of thousands of more people from those countries to come to the US and work. And basically, Joe Biden did that to uh, plant a nice wet beso on the culo of these countries. So he's kissing the likes of AMLO's ass. And I'll tell you why he did that in a minute here. But let's take a look at this 300,000 additional work visas so that those people can come to the U.S. and work. What's the issue with that? Well, I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that when people, for the most part, come here from those countries, they send a large portion of the earnings they receive and wire it back to those countries. Now they're perfectly free to do so, but the problem is those countries have shit economies because of their mismanagement and poor governance and corruption over the years. And you're saying, hey, that sounds like United States. Yeah, it does. But over there, it's far worse. We're on the road to that. Over there, they have something, I don't know what the actual numbers are, but they've had this situation for decades where, 80, 90% of the wealth is in the hands of probably 10% of the population. There's little, if any, middle class, and they have, the vast majority of the population there living in poverty. And because they're so mismanaged and poorly governed, they can't get their shit together and they can't get past the corruption that they have to try to get things going. And as a result, when people come here, they send their money back there because I think that these countries' number one source of revenue are the remissions from people working up here. I don't know. It's probably definitely in their top three or five sources of income because their GDP is crap. But anyways, this way these countries are. That's the road that the United States of America has been headed down for I don't know how many decades now. You know, and the powers that be in this country, the uniparty, the ruling class, they love it because power and wealth is accumulating in their hands, and the middle class, the backbone of the United States of America, has been shrinking for decades. So, anyways, that's the whole deal with those 300K, and Biden did that basically to try to buy AMLO off, or not buy him off, bribe him, I guess you would be a better way to say it, to get him to come to the I'm gonna brain fart here, early Saturday morning. But gotta do what you gotta do. Let me get some caffeination going on. The Summit of the Americas. That's what it was. So AMLO said he wasn't going to show up to the uh, Summit of the Americas, which we had here in the U.S. this year, because I guess the Biden didn't invite the likes of the communist scumbags from, I think it was Cuba, Venezuela, and so AMLO, he said that's no bueno, and he didn't want to come. So Biden, shows weakness and issues a bunch of work visas to these countries and tries to do a little ass kissing to get bribing AMLO to show up. Fast forward a little bit, and now we're here today, and Mexico has energy policies that favor its state-run. There's your whole communist action going on there. State-run electrical, utility, and oil companies, which undermines American and Canadian businesses. And you're like, well, what's the big deal about that? Well, the big deal is Mexico, Canada, and the United States have a trade agreement, and the bullshit that Mexico's pulling with their state-run companies is a no bueno per the USMCA. So I guess the U.S. and Canada decide that they want to, take action on that. So, and this is where AMLO, disrespects and says he's not going to change what they're doing, and to hell with the agreement that they have. This comes this week, just after last week, AMLO and Biden, they issued a joint statement reaffirming the commitment to the USMCA. So I guess, is it all Mexicans? I would never do that, That's something that the leftists do. All white people are racist. All POCs are victims. All men are sexist. Unless you're a fake man, a tranny. But anyways, that's not the topic of this video. Let's get back to the matter at hand. So I guess, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, his word is not worth fucking toilet paper I just wiped my ass with after the morning poo. Because he issued that joint statement last week reaffirming his commitment, and now this week he come out and says, ooh, I'm so scared. Tengo miedo. About he's being sarcastic because he says nothing gonna happen. When he heard that Potato Head Joe and Fidel Castro's son don't like that Mexico's pulling the shenanigans they're pulling, AMLO don't give a flying fuck. So AMLO, just another example of a world leader that knows that Joe Biden's weak tit and ain't gonna do nothing. Was it a week or so ago we had him over there kissing the ass of the fucking Arabs. Please give us more oil. Fuck they gonna give us more oil for? We're sitting on the fucking most amount of crude of any country in the world. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out how to get the oil prices and gas prices here in the U.S. to drop. But we all know that that's not on the green, which is not green, it's bullshit. That's just marketing. The fucking climate change hoax agenda. But I'm not going to get into all that because I got into that on other videos. So I just wanted to talk about one more example of Joe Biden being disrespected by another world leader because he's a weak tit motherfucker and he needs to go. My last video talked about, he needs to be impeached, which I don't think if we don't have rigged elections, if the Republicans take over, because there's no way they shouldn't take over both houses of the Senate unless shit's rigged. They probably ain't going to have the balls to do the right thing and impeach this whole damn crew from Biden bin Laden, we got in office there, the puppet for Barak Hussein Obama. Obama! The long-legged freak. And then Hills Up Harris, she needs to go. And their whole damn crew, dereliction of duty. I could run down a laundry list of Secretary of State, Secretary of Defense, the Secretary of Homeland Security, and on and on and on. They all need to go. But if you get rid of the top two dogs, Biden and Harris, the rest of the crew are going to go too, because you replace them with somebody that ain't so fucked up in the head that thinks this country's the problem in the world, because if you take over the House and Senate, Pelosi's out of her position. She's third in line. So hopefully these Republicans appoint, I hope they don't put McCarthy in there. He's a rhino. They put someone in there like Jim Jordan. But anyways, at that point, if Jim Jordan was Speaker of the House and we impeach, numbnuts and Slutsky, put Jim Jordan in there and he can clean house and replace all these scumbag cabinet members that are currently in there. But anyways, I'm going to wrap this one up. Just wanted to throw out there because I bet most people didn't hear about how the Presidente de Mexico basically give a big fungo to Joe Biden this week. Another example of Joe Biden weak tit ass being disrespected by various world leaders. All right, everyone. Thank you and have a great weekend.